Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and this is the birth chart for Rihanna. She's an Aries rising with Venus on the rising. She's got a sun in Pisces and a moon in Pisces. And let's start here with the Aries rising. Obviously, Rihanna is money, Venus on the rising. A very attractive woman, Venus on the rising. Venus in the Leo decan at 12 degrees of Aries. Her ascendant, the rising, is in the Leo decan as well. So we see her being a performer, a performing artist, someone who's center stage, and we're already seeing right here at the rising with the fire, the Leo decan, and more to the idea of being a performer. The sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Pisces. And her music is very dreamy as well, and she has that dreamy feel to it. The North Node is also in Pisces, so the sun and the moon are there. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. The moon is in Aries. Uh, the North Node, though, the sun and the North Node is in Pisces, and that's being ruled by Neptune. So we're going to take a look at this Neptune as well. Her sun's in the 11th of goals and objectives. Could say that's a very social house, friends. She also has Mercury in Aquarius where it's exalted in the 11th. And this North Node here being ruled by Neptune as well. So let's take a look at the Neptune. There is that Neptune there on the midheaven. Again, what is she known for? She's known for being a performing artist, a musician. That's Neptune. That Neptune and midheaven is making a square to that Venus, which is money. How does she make her money? And that moon, as I said, was in Aries, not Pisces. It's in Aries and it's conjunct the Venus. So very good aspect there to have people like you, to have a pleasing personality, and all that's on the rising there. So this is the first. Even though you have that strong, bold Aries on the rising, you have Venus and Moon there to soften it up. And when people, they not only do they see that attractive Aries, but they see the pleasing personality as well when they see her and they speak to her. And that North Node where she's headed is ruled by that Neptune. So you can see where she's headed if we look at the facilitator, the Neptune there. She's going to have status as a musician. She has this Jupiter in the first. Jupiter in the first. Any planets in the first are going to be very prominent in their life. Jupiter, it's in the Sagittarius decan. She's had to travel all over the world for sure. Definitely a traveler, an influencer, someone who would have good fortune with herself, her body, her looks. Let's see what that Jupiter's doing. It is making a trine to Uranus and Mars there in the ninth. So we have this stellium, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, Mars, all in the ninth, making a trine to that Jupiter. So that's showing more indication that she would be a traveler, for sure. And she has Pluto in the seventh. So let's come back to this Aries ascendant. Ruler's Mars in the ninth. So if we wanted to look at the ascendant and see like what really is Rihanna's life about, based on the ascendant, and not the based on the ascendant and the ruler. So it's Mars. Mars is in Sagittarius in the ninth, and it's in the Leo decan. It's conjunct Uranus. We could say that she is, the sex appeal of her, and Saturn is there as well. The genius of all of this, of her work, of her being an musician, Uranus, genius, Saturn, the work in her life. Saturn's in Capricorn. So there is a There's an indication here that it is in the ninth house, but there's an indication with that Mars, Saturn, Uranus that the life is not necessarily easy. So we could say that this suggests that even though a lot of the things I'm saying are very positive, or people would say that are very positive, and they'd like to be a singer just like her life more likely than not was not that easy. It may appear to be easy, but the road to the stardom would not have been that easy. It could have had some trauma. There could have been some trauma there that she would have had to overcome. We could say, with it being in the ninth, that that's a mitigating factor. But let's continue with this theme here. She also has the midheaven ruled by Saturn. More indication that this is not exactly like an easy road. It's not a fairy tale story. And we see Pluto in the seventh in Scorpio. So at the deepest level, this is a Libra soul, someone who would be involved in this road, someone who would be involved in relationships. So relationships would definitely be involved in this challenge. And as I said, with that Venus moon, Venus rules the seventh house, moon is emotions. These are things that are often involved in relationships, and it's conjunct and it's in Aries. The polarity and the rising there is in the polarity of Libra, and Jupiter's in Aries as well. So even though it's not Libra, it's not the seventh house, it's the first, and it's Aries. So looking at the polarity, we see a lot of involvement here with the Libra Aries polarity, telling us more about that there be relationships involved here. And the idea that Mercury is in Aquarius and in the 11th house, and the sun is just coming out of Aquarius in the 11th house. 11th house being a social house. So we could also associate maybe some trauma here with relationships as well, more hardship with relationships. We see Uranus, we can see the aspects it's making. It's making a sextile to the sun, and it's making a trine to Jupiter. So more indication that Uranus, Aquarius, 11th house is involved. Relationships are involved in this road. So we look at the Pluto here. We come back to the Pluto in the seventh, where she's coming from. And the south node, the sixth. The ruler being Mercury in this social house again. You could say with that south node in Virgo that and then with this Mercury, she's working something out. Work, sixth house. Working, because we have Pluto in the seventh, she's working something out here with relationships, friends, maybe how to accomplish her goals, because usually relationships involve, in order to accomplish her goals, other people are involved. Usually it's really hard to do things by yourself. So maybe she's met some key people in this life to accomplish her goals. Maybe she had to go through some hardships to go through certain relationships in order to get where she was going. And where's she heading here? The 12th house, Pisces, and the first house, the polarity of the seventh, the first. See, there's indication that she's moved out of where she's coming from into the first with that Jupiter there. Really putting herself first in order to accomplish her dreams, 12th house. So I'm going to leave it there for now for this mini reading. This is Rihanna. I hope you enjoyed it.